She is a heroine to some. As a fighter for black rights, she is a villain to others who believe she hides her crimes behind revolutionary rhetoric. Back in the 1970s, Assata Shakur was known as the soul of the self-styled Black Liberation Army, an armed group implicated in the killings of several police officers. In New Jersey, Governor Whitman has posted a $50,000 reward for her capture. Meet her now in Cuba. As she walks through Havana streets, she is just another shopper. She passes almost unnoticed by Cubans. Her name is Assata Shakur. In the United States, she is known by the police and FBI as Joanne Chesimard, one of the nation's most wanted fugitives. Wanted for what police describe as the cold-blooded execution of a New Jersey state trooper back in the 70s. She denies it and says of the state cops,
they want to just kill me. They want to see me dead.
Chesimard was convicted in the killing of Trooper Werner Foster and the wounding of another trooper in a furious shootout on the New Jersey Turnpike in East Brunswick. That's where Chesimard was wounded, and one of two men in the car with her was killed. The other later captured. Police say that after Trooper Forrester was shot down, his own gun was ripped from his holster and 2 bullets were fired into his brain. After her capture in that deadly shootout, she was sentenced to life in prison. In 1979, with the help of 3 armed men, she broke out of the women's prison in Clinton, New Jersey.
She made her break this afternoon from the prison in Clinton, New Jersey, and lawmen once called her the soul of the Black Liberation Army.
Chesimard went underground and then surfaced in the 1980s in Cuba under Fidel Castro's protection. Now, at 50 and a grandmother, she agreed to talk with me in Havana. Chesimard, or Assata Shakur, insisted she had killed no one and was railroaded by an all-white jury and by what she called racist New Jersey state troopers.
Did you shoot Werner Foster?
No, I did not. I was shot with my arms in the air, then shot again in the back, and then left on the ground to die.
That is absolutely false. Our investigation shows that Joanne Chesimard initiated the conflict. She reached into her pocketbook, pulled out a 9mm weapon, and started firing at Trooper Harper.
Were you holding a weapon?
No, I was not. No.
Well, after almost 25 years, the roadway area has changed somewhat, but this is the spot where the shooting occurred. Joanne Chesimard was in the front seat on the passenger side. The driver of the car and Trooper Forrester were in the back of the car. It was after midnight, and shots rang out.
Harper, who was the other police
Correct.
that was at the
scene,
other
trooper,
started to shoot. And, you know, after that, everything is like foggy. It was horrible. It was like a prolonged version of hell. You know, I felt like, you know, everything was moving around. My chest started to explode. My head started to explode. And the next thing I knew, you know, they were coming by me and saying, is she dead yet? Is she dead yet? And I was later taken to a hospital. And I was beaten. I was tortured.
I think that, you know, as so happens so often with the criminal element, they have a tendency to turn things around, and they become the victim. We got to remember that, number one, there's a trooper who is dead.
And why did Assata Shakur escape from prison using hostages as a shield instead of appealing her case to higher courts?
I never received justice, and I escaped, A, because I was afraid for my life, and B, because I knew that I would never receive justice.
As to Chesimard's claim that she was left on the ground to die, Colonel Williams told me she and her Confederate actually sped away in their car 5 miles down the turnpike before she was finally captured, and that it was Trooper Forrester who was left on the ground to die. The Clinton, New Jersey prison from which Chesimard escaped has been rebuilt with much tighter security.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and then click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.
Hey everyone, welcome to the 1804 Show, Chapter 2. I'm your host, Dollar Will, and this is another episode of 1804 History. So before I start, hit like, comment, subscribe to the channel on the 1804 Show, Chapter 2. Now let's get it. So This episode gonna be discussed about Assata Shakur, and I'm just gonna share my thoughts on this lovely, phenomenal sister over here. And I must say that she was really strong, really beautiful, very resilient, very brave. Just the fact how her and the Black Liberation Army made the state of New Jersey, made the Department of Corrections, Clinton Correctional Facility, embarrassed by her prison escape. And you just never know, like, what we can do if we stuck together, And these was black men and black women who helped aid her escape because she was practically shot, not expecting to survive. Once in the chest and one in the back. And was beaten, was tortured, was violated in the hospital. Same thing with Huey Newton. And just the fact, like, for a black woman to be sent to an all-man's prison facility is bogus. You knew exactly what was going to happen for that situation. And they just mad because she got away, and they just mad because of the fact that she escaped to Cuba, and the Cuban government refused to extradite her back to the state of New Jersey to face trial and face prison. But luckily they let her stay and allow her to be considered a refugee and a citizen. So that's just crazy how someone who could just walk up to a car late at night, police officer or not, and just start firing without even identifying yourself. So it wasn't no accident, and who the hell just go on a turnpike and start shooting state troopers? It don't make sense. So they had to make up an excuse or make up a lie and conjure up this story that she was such a terrorist person. But if anything, anybody would shoot back. So I believe her when she said and can recant the story. I believe her because it's so simple. We all know what goes on and what happened in the 60s to anybody who was in the political parties, that they were just assassinated. And I'm not talking about all cops, I still believe that it's still some good cops who still have principles, morals, integrity. But a lot of the bad cops put a stain on these police departments, back in the day, and just was allowed to brutalize and neutralize black people back in the day. There were so many members of the Black Panther Party and the Black Liberation Army who was assassinated, and what everybody went, by their day. It was nothing. But for her to still be on the FBI wanted list over 60 years later, it's just downright pathetic. And the United States government doesn't want to take any accountability. So they will run with that story until they die, until their kids die. until their grandkids die. Once you tell a lie so long, it will become the truth. So I admire her. I admire what she stood for, that she wasn't going to allow these pigs to kill her. And I appreciate that day, November 2nd, 1979, for her comrades to do exactly what they was going to do. They was loyal. They stood by. They stood on business. And I tell black people all the time, like, we powerful together than separated. So fuck all this hate. Fuck all this animosity. Let's build. Let's organize. Let's unify. You know what I'm saying? So we can become better. Because they want us separated for a reason. They want us to kill each other for a reason. But when we stand as a unit, we make things happen. All things is possible. But I just wanted to come on here real quick and share my thoughts on this beautiful sister, this soldier, this miner woman who are tougher than most men. Survived and lived to tell about it. But I'm out, y'all, and just want to say thank you for listening and tuning in, and make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, peace.